But it's starting to get late, and there have been several people that have given me questions and that we didn't get to ask. So I'm going to ask Kathleen. Okay, to ask your one question to one of the candidates so that we have time to maybe take a few more. I know it is, but we have to be fair to everybody else. We're trying to get somebody else in too. So choose one of your topics and one of the candidates.
Okay. Well, my topic essentially has to do with animal shelters. As we know, the mayor already... Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear now? Yeah. Okay. My topic has to do with animal shelters. As we know, the mayor already established some money for a site which has not been picked yet. Unfortunately, though, us animal advocates are sort of half-hearted celebrating that. Why? Because it is run by ACC and is also run by DOH, which I can say they deserve a rating of an A for abysmal. So, I have 3 questions, but my one question is, how will TNR programs, which are Trap-Neuter-Return, be more properly funded to help rescuers in basically what they're doing in rescuing animals and also reducing the population? Because essentially, even though there are programs that exist, they are difficult to get to, and the rescuers still have to pay out-of-pocket money to do what they do. So, should I flip a coin?
They got a 5-second coin.
No, not today.
Can I suggest something? That same question's all but 30 seconds to answer. It doesn't have to take very long. This way everybody has an opportunity to share.
Okay, all right.
Good idea.
We'll do that, but very, very
30
quickly,
seconds.
because we want to try, okay? So-
30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that I have a dog. I got to talk fast. I have a dog. It's a beagle. I went to an organization called Muffins.org. They charge you $30 to neuter your pet. I think it's a great organization. You should do it. You'll find somebody local. I also want to tell you that there's an animal shelter in Westchester Square that we've been supporting. Our merchant association was able to get them a $5,000 grant per year through one of our local merchants. These shelters are invaluable to our neighborhood. We need to continue to fund them, and we need to make sure that all the pets that are on the street have a home until they're placed in a permanent family. Thank you.
That's enough, great.
Thank you for the question, and just to reiterate a little bit what's been said. If you get the chance, guys, you want to adopt an animal, go to a shelter, get a shelter animal. My family did that. We adopted a dog. His name is Murphy. He's my father's 5th and most loved child. However, what I would say to you, though, is that there is more we need to do. We all need to support some of these shelters a little bit, as I often say. No one can do everything, but everyone can do something. So if you go home tonight, give $20 to the ASPCA, try to fund it towards the shelter that we're trying to put in here. Look, I think it's great we have such a great animal rights community in this district, and if there's an appropriate site that falls into Community Boards 10 or 11 in the district that we're seeking to represent, I would support it. I think it's good for the neighborhood. I think we have a very strong animal rights community, and I think we need to do whatever we can to support what you guys are doing with Trap-Neuter-Release. I spent a lot of time with Bernadette Ferrara. This is a topic she often discusses, and listen, I want to be an ally to you and the work you guys do. You're not getting paid for it, the least I can do is lend a helping hand. Thank you.
First of all, credit to you and so many animal lovers that we have out there for the dedication and volunteering that you continue to do year in and year out. Earlier, I mentioned I had 2 sons. They have a sister, Chloe, a cat. They're very fond of her, of their sibling. We're extremely proud pet owners. We see what's going on out there. There are so many cats that are running astray, and we need to support those shelters to make sure that we continue to offer these services, not only for 2-legged people, but 4-legged creatures. They're God's creation as well. Thank you.
I think everyone has brought up great ideas, but I do believe that we need private and public money to create better ways of tracking, neutering, and also providing shelter services for all animals. I believe all animals should be treated equal. meaning that we should make sure that no one is abusing or using animals, including horses that are being used for horse carriages in Central Park, and that's something that I'm totally against. And I'm very sad that the horses, or the horse stable that was in Pelham Parkway was replaced by another building that we didn't need in the community. So I definitely support a shelter.
When I was a kid on East Tremont, underneath the Bronx Road Parkway, there was an animal hospital. For those of you who are old timers, original people from the Bronx, raise your hand. Do you remember that animal hospital? And I remember going there, getting a dog and getting its vaccination. But what happened, city politics got involved, they sold the building. It was abandoned for so many years. And as a kid walking up and down that neighborhood, I was real upset that that building was teared down. Animals, human beings, we all need these services. And these services were here, young lady. And when I am the city council member, I will try to rebuild that hospital for you. Because it existed in the Bronx. We had our own hospital for animals. And there was all the services there. And I'm sure that there's some people here in this audience that remembers that. And we need to stop selling public lands for private personal development. The private lands, the recreational parks, and
30 seconds is up.
need to be preserved for the future in this community. Thank you.
Okay, let's try one more question. Mr. Beater, I know that you sent me a question in the mail and it was about business. Do you want to?
I don't think I need a microphone.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Mr. Doyle. John, the small businesses in New York City, we're losing 1,000 a month. Because of the lease renewal process, small businesses have no say whatsoever. The real estate people have 100% control. They're extorting small businesses under the table money, and they're giving them short-term leases. So if you're elected city council, what would you do to make sure that small businesses get a fair lease renewal process?
I like that. It's right up in the plate and easy to answer. This is another example we talked about earlier, real estate run amok, and it's not just the residences. Bob brings up a great point, small businesses. On City Island, we lost our pharmacy. Again, they couldn't afford $60,000 a month. We lost, remember the Coles on East Chester Road in Morris Park? We lost that too. A lot of people like that place. A lot of people cannot afford the rents and the jumps. And if you're a small business owner, if you don't own the property, what is the investment to stick out in that location? If it's 1 year, could be a roller coaster. So I support the Small Business Survival Act, which is what you're getting at, which would provide an opportunity for a 10-year lease and then binding arbitration thereafter if the landlord and the tenant can't come to an amicable solution. The real estate lobby has way too much power in the city. It doesn't just affect zoning, it affects tenants, both residential and commercial. I'm on your side. Thank you.
So I am a small business owner, still actively a small business owner. My rent has been going up and up for the last 20 years. I can't keep paying higher rent because what do? I do income tax, I sell insurance, I can't keep raising my price. You know, people say, well, why did the price go up? Well, let's talk to my landlord. Why did they raise my price? You know, what we need to do is we need to figure out a way to let small business owners have the representation the way apartments have representation. You know, they have rent stabilization. And these apartments are stabilized so that the landlords, and you see this in the media every single year, where apartment renters are upset because the landlords have the right to raise them 2, 3, 4, 5%, and the landlords are upset because that's all they're getting, right? But in business, we don't have any of that representation. In business, as a matter of fact, I feel like New York, the City Hall has no business representation. Why? Because probably there's more voters in employees than in business owners. So it comes down to how many votes they can get. But we need representation to say that the business owner has protection where the landlord cannot raise our rent more than a certain percentage every lease renewal. That's very important to keep the small business alive. That's what as I said, I'm a small business owner, 20 years. My rent has gone up over 10 times what I originally started paying 20 years ago.
I come from small business. We need to protect our mom and pop shops. They are what make our community so thriving. But it's just not rents. It's the real estate taxes and the water and sewer rates that also impact our homeowners by the same way. Water and sewer rates are more expensive than fuel. and your real estate taxes continue to go up double digits. City charges landlord, landlord charges city, tenant. Tenant pays landlord, landlord pays city. The real culprit is New York City. Well, as you can see, I get a lot of love here, but that's okay. It's a great time. Our commercial corridors need to be secured to make sure that they continue to thrive, to make the communities that we live in. It's not just rents, it's also real estate taxes and water and sewer. Thank you.
This is probably one of the few times that I agree with Mr. Jonai. I do believe that water and sewer.
Just for the record, repeat that again.
I agree with you. Once, the water and sewer, definitely the taxes are too damn high. Like the guy who was running for president, right? But it's also about creating affordable tax credits that will benefit the small business owner. We should be creative, create programs where if small business owners can hire from within the community, that they get tax breaks. If they stay in the community, they get tax breaks. And we should look at alternative programs to make sure that our small homeowners are happy and that they stay in our community, because they are important to our community, and you are important to our community, because I can't find that piece that I need to buy anywhere at Home Depot. So I'm going to see you this weekend because I need to do some plumbing. Thank you.
I also believe that the water taxes is going up, just like Margano. I believe what he's saying. But I also believe that we need to cap the rate when you're renewing the leases. It's out of control, and it's forcing the young, the old school businesses in the neighborhood to leave. I know my friend Castro Bike Shop, Tito there, he explains to me all the time how difficult it is to keep his bike shop in the neighborhood. And he can't go to the mall, the rent is too high. And he's paying $3,000 rent, and it was $2,500 last year. So he's having a hard time keeping his business. And if he leaves, then my local bike shop is gone, and the kids in the neighborhood are not going to find a good place to get services. I'm sure that the other businesses are suffering the same way. We need to protect these small businesses, and we need to stop building malls. It's really destroying and has destroyed the small businesses. The malls have everything, and they provide everything, and they're killing the small business. So we need to reconsider that and cap the percentage at the end of the year when they renew the lease. As city councilman, I'll try my best to do that. Take a committee and put together some type of legislation and create some bills that we don't pass on. Thank you.
I see a lot of people motioning to me, and I feel very bad that I know that some people want to ask questions, but it's after 9:30, and I think it's very important for anybody in the audience that wants to talk one-on-one with the candidate, to shake their hand, to maybe ask something that you wouldn't ask, aloud. So this is what I would like to do. We have coffee and cookies inside. I would like to invite everybody to have some coffee and cookies and talk to the candidates. And no, I don't think, we don't have the time to do it. So, okay, all right. So I think that's what we should do next.
That's all, folks. Thank you.